Today on the School of Podcasting, I'm going to steer you away from a horrible media host, even though it's free. And we're going to talk about affiliate marketing. How do you get into that with podcasting, as well as some other podcasting questions answered and some tips on editing your podcast on a tablet.
It's the School of Podcasting's morning announcements. Here's Dave Jackson.
Podcasting since 2005. I am your personal podcast coach, Dave Jackson, thanking you so much for tuning in. Our website is schoolofpodcasting.com. You can email me, Dave at schoolofpodcasting.com. You can call in your comments just like Chris did from the bearcrawlingnation.com. He used the number. It's 888-563-3228. Now you can also use the speak pipe button, which basically just says podcast voicemail out on the website. We'll be talking about that a little bit today. And leave your voicemail that way, or you can leave a comment out at our website, which of course is schoolofpodcasting.com. If you're new to the program, let's face it, everything you need to start a podcast is at the schoolofpodcasting.com. So we talk about all things podcasting, from planning to promoting to recording to monetizing to growing your audience. It's all here at the schoolofpodcasting.com. And today I want to steer you away from a horrible, horrible service, in my opinion. I do a podcast called the Podcast Review Show, and I was reviewing a podcast called Coffee and Cigarettes, and I noticed he was using a media host called Buzzsprout. You can find them at buzzsprout.com. You'll stick with me a little bit. You probably don't want to go there, but they are free. Yippee yahoo. And what's interesting about buzzsprout.com, let me go there right now as we speak, is they optimize, I believe is the fun phrase they use. They optimize your podcast for whatever. And they give you 2 hours of space of each month, and then they optimize it. Now, what I believe that means is they take your audio, whatever it is, and they mix it down to 64 kilobits per second mono, which is basically CD quality, right? Not a big deal, not a huge deal. But the thing I don't like about it, and one of the things that I dinged the podcast for that I was reviewing, is they rename your podcast file. Like I named the Podcast Review Show PRS 000, like 007 underscore, and then whatever the date was, 3/03/12/12, I think it was. And they renamed it like 44484-PRS 007 dash, and they added some dashes. They added a dash MP3 in there, and they renamed it for no apparent reason that I know of, except the fact that they were optimizing my audio. Now, wait, there's more. So the fun thing is when you download an episode that you've hosted on Buzzsprout, do you get this long? Do you get the PRS 007 underscore 032612? No, you just get the 44484.mp3. Now, as a computer instructor, I can tell you that one of the skills that most computer users don't have is file management. You don't believe me? Go look at people's desktops. It's a mess, mine included. So when you save a file that's 44484.mp3, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. So I was telling this person that, hey, you need to rename your podcast file because it's going to get lost. Well, it turns out that wasn't the podcaster's fault. It was our good friends at Buzzsprout that rename your file. But wait, there's more. They take your file, and when they're optimizing it, it somehow jacks up your ID3 tags. Now, I realize I just said something very geeky. ID3 tags are information that's stored actually inside your media file, in this case, MP3 files. And usually it says, like if you're listening to this one, it says the artist is David Jackson, the album is The Morning Announcements, and the episode title is the name of this episode. Well, if after being optimized, if you could please put your fingers up in the air, little quotation marks, if you've been optimized by Buzzsprout, your ID3 tags, and I'm not making this up, are now in Japanese. Japanese, yes. And unless you're trying to conquer the Japanese market, that's really not that much of a, again, if we could finger quotes together, feature. Not really a feature that I'm looking for. Nothing against my friends in Japan, but would prefer that the ID3 tags that I enter in English, which is my native tongue, stay in English. So Buzzsprout, I'm going to lump you in with Podomatic. I'm going to lump you in with Podbean and say you are a media host that I do not recommend. They also, wait, there's more. I was going to give them kudos for this. When you go into your control panel, and one of the things is it's free, right? So if you want to do the free thing and you don't mind that if you don't mind that your ID3 tags are in Japanese, and you don't mind that they've optimized your file and changed the file name so it's going to look hokey when people download it, if that doesn't bother you, number one, why? Why doesn't that bother you? Don't you care? It's your name. It's your stuff. But anyway, if that doesn't bother you, they have a thing, and I was going to say kudos to you guys, because they say, hey, if you want to be on iTunes, here is your RSS feed from Buzzsprout. Put this in FeedBurner. I'm like, good for you, right? Because a lot of these places like Podbean and Podomatic will do you, again, if you could finger quote with me, do you a favor by adding your RSS feed from their website to iTunes, which then marries you to that company. And here Buzzsprout was saying, no, run it through FeedBurner first. And I'm like, good for you. And then they show a screenshot where somebody is submitting their podcast to iTunes. And does it show their FeedBurner feed? No, it shows them how to put their Buzzsprout feed in. And to that I go, bad Buzzsprout. You are changing people's file names. You are whacking up their ID3 tags, and you are inadvertently, we will say, we're not going to say you're doing this on purpose. You are inadvertently showing people how to submit their Buzzsprout RSS feed to iTunes, which we all know marries them to you, because it's really, I don't see any information in here on how to switch the feed to something else from their Buzzsprout account. So that's just nasty. That's bad. And it's inadvertently underhanded. And for that, I give you the big in terms of a media host. If you want to know who I use as a media host, I use Libsyn for this particular podcast. It's libsyn.com. I also use Blueberry for some of my other podcasts like feedingmyfaith.com. You can find them at Blueberry. That's BLUBRRY.com. Speaking of Blueberry, let's go over to Charles from the Bear Crawling Nation.
Hey, Dave, this is Charles, Bear Crawling Nation, bearcrawlingnation.com. I want to throw that in because it's the last thing you asked me to do. You said, don't forget to mention it, so I don't. A couple of things. Just listen to the newest school of podcasting and learn some things. You know, I hate Audacity, but, you know, you showed me that it's a valuable tool. And that you're right. You can't argue with free. I like to refer to the program I pay for as value added. I have actually used both ID3 tag and MP3 tag, Windows and PC. Both are very excellent programs. I prefer ID3 tag on the Mac. But I am now PC only. My Mac died, and the MP3 tag is a beautiful program. I wanted to talk about something that a lot of podcasters might be looking at, which is publishing with tablets. I recently got an Android-based tablet, and I can publish all day long with it. I got two programs that I thought your listeners would love to hear about. They're apps, actually, and you can probably get these on your phone. You might check iTunes Store. I don't know. But one called Audio Tagger. Just Audio Tagger. It's an app. It does MP3 tags on my podcast beautifully. So when I have a podcast on my tablet, I produce more than just my own show. So I'm working for other people. And I use this Audio Tagger. Beautiful, easy to do tags show in seconds. And I also use AndFTP, AndFTP to upload to my server from my tablet. Now, I don't know how that might work with Libsyn or with Blueberry, because I don't use those guys. They're great services. I'm with somewhere else. So, but your listeners might want to look at tablet publishing. It really is becoming more of a tool. You still can't edit your audio. Not really. You really shouldn't record with it either. But a lot of the back-end tools you can do on the go with your tablet. And the last thing is, you're talking about the limited upload bandwidth on places like Libsyn and Blueberry. Now, I don't know what kind of tools they use for your uploader, but I know a lot of FTP services or clients like CyberDuck will support continue or, picking back up the upload, where if I've had to change my tags before also, I've already uploaded the 80 megabyte file, didn't want to re-upload it, so I changed the tags and hit upload, but instead of overwrite the file, I said continue, and it only uploaded the changed data. So instead of uploading another 80 megs and taking off of that space, I uploaded a meg or less, and it just tacked on, it rewrote to the file and tacked on the tag that you needed. So just want to throw those ideas out to you. Love the show. Keep it up, man.
Thank you very much, Charles. Check him out at bearcrawlingnation.com. And did want to mention some things here. Number one, since we talked about the upload limit for Blueberry and Libsyn, I do want to correct myself. And that is, I got a note from the folks over at Blueberry that said if I had said that, when you upload, this was for an episode a couple weeks ago, it said you have to get your media right before you upload it because you can't change it in the event that you're over your monthly allotted limit. So with Blueberry and Libsyn, they only limit the amount you can upload a month. You could have 5 listeners. You could have 5 million. It doesn't matter. But if you're over that limit, you're kind of stuck. Well, I got an update from the folks at Blueberry. It said if your client that I was talking about on that episode was on Blueberry, all you have to do is delete the episode and upload the corrected version with the same name, or really a different name, they say, for that matter. If you delete a file that is counted against your monthly upload, it will be taken off the limit right away. I'm not sure that's the case with Libsyn. I went into my Libsyn account, going back to Charles' email, and went into my FTP account and couldn't see where I could get to my old media. So I have to check into that just to make sure I'm not mistaken. I just know using the tools that I had, I couldn't do anything about that on the Libsyn account. So apparently you can with the Blueberry account. Maybe I need to call Rob Walsh and see if that's the case. But nonetheless, you should always try to get your media right. And also, thanks again for the tips on the apps for the tablet editing. I have had people say, I want to record on a tablet. And let's talk about that a second. There are a couple different ways to get audio on your computer. Let's just go that route. Number one is to plug in a microphone and just go directly to the computer. That's one way. And then you can record it in a program like Audacity or Sony Music Studio or Hindenburg Journalist or whatever you're using. That's one way to get audio. The second way is the way I use. I record from a microphone, and I should bring this out because somebody sent me an email, said, what are you using now? Right now, I'm talking into an Electro Voice RE320. It goes into a Behringer mixer and goes into a Roland R-05 recorder. So that's my current. Now, for many, 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 many moons, I used a Shure SM58 microphone. And before that, I used an Audio-Technica 2020. But for the longest period, I was using a Shure SM58 microphone. If you're interested in purchasing microphones hardware, please email me because I do sell microphones. I do sell Heil PR40s, probably less than anybody else on the internet. So if you're looking to buy hardware, number one, I can talk to you and make sure you're getting the right stuff. Because I've had people that they'll buy a single USB microphone, which we'll talk about here in a second, and then want to use it for 3 people. It's not a good strategy. So one way to get your audio, shall we say, into a computer is just to plug the microphone directly in. And the other way is to record it on a portable recorder, and then you basically plug the portable recorder in, and you can just drag that sound file onto your computer where you can then edit it. And then the third way is through some sort of USB device, like a Blue Snowball. You can do that, or you can actually buy a USB device and plug your mixer into the USB device. So you can have multiple microphones plugged into your mixer, have that go into a USB, and then the USB device goes in, again, directly to the computer. Not my typical favorite way of recording. I was using Adobe Captivate. And that was a program. Now I was using version 4, and they have a new version out. But that particular software program doesn't recognize anything that's not plugged into the mic input. And it's a program you use to make tutorials. And so that's one of the reasons why I don't like USB devices, because not everything likes USB. And number 2, even plugging a microphone directly in, when you record directly to a computer, you are much, 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 much more likely to lose an episode because you're recording directly into the computer, because they do crash on occasion, where my portable recorder, the only time I've ever lost an episode is because either A, I forgot to hit record, or B, my battery went dead. So those are the three ways you're going to get your audio into your computer. You're going to basically plug a microphone directly into it, an analog microphone. You could record directly into some sort of audio recording device like a portable recorder, or you're going to get into your computer via a USB device. So if you're using Audacity and you're not using a portable recorder, you basically have to go in and tell what kind of microphone you have plugged in. Are you going into like the microphone input, or are you using some sort of USB device? If you are using Audacity and you're using a portable recorder, drag that file, plug in the portable device, and I just drag and drop the file onto my desktop or wherever, and then import that audio file into Audacity. From there, you can do the editing. So people have asked that question, how do you get audio into Audacity? And that's how. It's either going to come from a microphone, a USB device, or you record it into a portable recording device. Last up, we have Scott Island from the baseballexperience.com. Scott, take her away.
Hey there, Dave. This is Scott Island from the baseballexperience.com calling in. I just listened to your podcast episode from last week where you discuss podcasting for free, and I knew that was nonsense from the beginning. And I really enjoyed the episode. I wanted to let you know that all the practical advice was very helpful. So the reason I wanted to pipe in, have you checked out the Home Budget application for the iPhone? HomeBudget.com, I think. It's called the Home Budget. Basically, it allows me and my wife to input all our accounts, all our spending in real time. It syncs, so we're all on the same page. All we have to do is activate the application. I don't know if they have an affiliate program, but it's what we use, and we stopped using Mint because of it. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Home Budget app with sync is what it's called. A second message, and I'm just going to keep on this voicemail. Trying to look towards monetization a little bit. I have your ebook as a member of the School of Podcasting, and what a fantastic value that is, by the way. My question is, where is the best place to start for affiliate marketing? Because that's really the best way to monetize, right? I have applied to a few places. Audible rejected me because I'm in the state of North Carolina. I will look to become an Amazon affiliate if I can. I hope they're still here. But the real question I have is, where is the best place to start with affiliate marketing when you have a sports themed website like my own? It's a baseball blog. It's going to be pretty much for baseball fans, but I'm not sure if it's the kind of website where people would want to buy sports equipment from me, because I don't really talk about that. I'm kind of curious as to what you think as far as, for my site, how to get started with some sort of affiliate program, and where do I look for one. I want to thank you very much for the School of Podcasting. I hope everything is well with you, and hope to talk to you soon. Thanks, Dave.
See, this is one of the things I love about a podcast. It is a time-shifted conversation. So I was talking about, different ways that you can afford a podcast. Scott's like, hey, this is cool. Have you checked out this program? And so I don't have an iPhone. I have an iPad. My wife has one, but so that wouldn't work for me. But I do love the fact that you're sharing that with my audience, because somebody else may like that. And speaking of that, if you go to schoolofpodcasting.com/mint, I talked about that. And I think I have made almost $20 with that affiliate program. So it's a free program. And I'm going to kind of talk about that subject a little bit. Now, I do have a book called More Podcast Money. You can find that at morepodcastmoney.com. Soon to be a Kindle book, if I can just get a couple things going here. But it talks about the different ways that you can benefit from a podcast, one of them being money. And I realize that Amazon has in some cases withdrawn their affiliate program in certain states. That would be the first place I would start. And here's why. In fact, Jay Moore is a comedian, and right now he just tells people, instead of having a sponsor, he says, go to jmoore.com, click on the Amazon link, and then buy whatever you want. Instead of trying to find a product that his audience wants, he's saying, just go there, buy your own product, and you get a small commission from that. Which, of course, is basically what affiliate marketing is. It's online commission sales. Now, the problem is, like we said, in some cases, Amazon is not available for everybody. And that's a bummer, because one of the things you can do with Amazon is see what people are buying, which will give you insights into, what their hot, products are, what they're buying, things like that. So I can see, I do a fair amount of affiliate business with my weight loss podcast at logicalloss.com, and I can see where people are buying pedometers, and I can see where they're buying DVDs. But the one thing I can see that, at least for online shopping, most products are under $20. Even the pedometer is like 25, but I see a lot of fitness DVDs. Fitness DVDs are like $10. And I make whatever 4%, of, what is 4% of $10? 40, is that 10 times 0.04? What is that? It's not $4, is it? No, it's 40 cents. So I make 40 cents for every DVD. And, but it's better than a poke in the eye. And when you have, 5 or 6 people do that, you're like, okay, well, I made a couple bucks. And so, if Amazon is not available, the 3 that I use the most, and there are more than these, one is Share a Sale. If you go to schoolofpodcasting.com/share a sale, that's one. Another one is Commission Junction. If you go to schoolofpodcasting.com/CJ, that'll take you right there. And the third one is LinkShare. If you go to schoolofpodcasting.com/LinkShare, those are the 3 I use the most. There are other ones I use, and many companies just have their own. Those are places to look for. But the thing is always, okay, what kind of product do I think my audience is going to use? And that's where I brought up the Mint thing. I brought up Mint in this program mainly because I use it and I like it, and it helps me organize my finances. So that would be my advice to you is find a product that you like, that maybe is inexpensive, and that you can talk about and keep your integrity. That's bottom line. We talk about that a lot in the book, More Podcast Money. Don't just promote something because you think your audience wants it. If you, research it, see if you can get a demo copy of something and use it so you can talk about it firsthand. One of the things that I just, earned some affiliate income on is there's this little box called a Strive. It's a little pedometer on steroids, and I got one from the company, and I talk about that in the ebook as well, how to get free stuff from companies. And now I'm making commissions from my Amazon sale. So, but let me give you another example, and I'm gonna at this point, I'm going to kind of switch gears from podcasting. So forgive me because I'm going to break format, but just to give you an example of this, of how do you, think of yourself as your audience? What would you buy? So I found out about this product called Covenant Eyes. Now, if you go to schoolofpodcasting.com/Covenant Eyes. Now, Covenant Eyes is COVENANT Eyes, EYE. So go to schoolofpodcasting.com/Covenant Eyes. And I'll put a link to this out in the show notes. And it's something I'm going to be promoting on other podcasts that I have, but it actually fits this audience as well. And let me just say this. I have a 15-year-old stepson, and I know what I was like when I was 15, and I didn't have the internet. And I just know my hormones were a-raging. So I can only imagine the temptation that this guy feels with the internet here. And what Covenant Eyes does is it protects your family, and it helps you create accountability partners. So guys, yes, I'm talking to you, man. Anyone with a penis right now, if I could have your attention, if you're looking at things that you shouldn't be looking at and you want to have integrity, you might want to check this out. It's like $10 a month. And here's the beautiful thing. It's got some teeth to it. Because when I first heard about this, I read this in a book by the lead singer of Casting Crowns. And he was talking about how you can have an accountability partner. So I went there and said, but wait a minute. If anybody wants to look at something they shouldn't be looking at on the internet, all they have to do is switch to private browsing and, look at whatever you want, delete your history, and everybody knows that, right? And they said, Now, if you do any kind of browsing on your computer, it will be tracked and it will be sent to your accountability partner. That can be your best friend. It can be your spouse. It can be your church leader. It could be whoever. But I was like, ooh, that's got teeth. Now, there's actually, if you want, there's another product they sell that has filters to it. But when I heard about this, I'm like, well, this is something that I can believe in. This is something that I think churches should be talking about because it's a problem. Yes, even in the church. So I will be talking about this on some of my other podcasts. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to be installing this software so I can get firsthand knowledge. You can always unsubscribe later, but I want to be sure I know what I'm talking about. Now, if somebody goes to schoolofpodcasting.com/Covenant Eyes, and they sign up, I earn a small commission for that. And so that is something that interests me. It's something that I'm going to have firsthand knowledge of so I can talk about it intelligently. It's something I believe in. It's something that's less than $20. I think it's like $9 a month, if that, and you can also have it on your computer. You can have it on your phone. And I'm like, really? People are looking at things they shouldn't be looking at on their phone? But this company knows that's a problem. And I realize I'm off topic, but that's an example of, see if there's a product that you know that you like, that you can talk about with integrity and say, yes, I believe in this, and then see if they have an affiliate program. And that's one of the great things about Amazon. So if Amazon isn't available in your state, that's a problem. Now, one other thing about Amazon that you might be able to do, because I realize you can always put up a donation button from PayPal. Some people hate that because you do have to beg. You can't just put up a donation button and people are going to go and click on it. You have to let people know it's there. I do recommend that if you do have a donation button, read that person's name in the podcast and let them know that. There's a podcast called No Agenda. They call them producers. So they'll say, this week's producer is so-and-so. Thank you for sending in and, in your money. If you want to read their amount, they can. That's great. But I tried that on a couple podcasts and it does work. I will say this week's producer is so-and-so. And sure enough, somebody went out and said, well, I want to be a producer because it only costs $5 to be a producer on my other podcast, but $5 paid for my hosting. So some people don't like the PayPal thing. One of the things you can do at Amazon is, because even though Amazon may not let you have an affiliate program, you can go through and make a wish list. Dawn and Drew, who were podcasting pioneers, used to put out their wish list, and you could buy things on their Amazon wish list. So if you didn't want to send them money, you could buy them a book, or you could buy them KitchenAid, or whatever the heck they wanted on their wish list. So here's a better thing. You could actually, I believe this is possible. Amazon have gift cards, and you could put a gift card on your wish list and then put that on your website and say, here, if you don't want to send a PayPal donation, click here, because people are maybe a little more comfortable buying things at Amazon than doing things with PayPal. So they could send you a $5 gift card or a $10 gift card or a $50 gift card, and then you could spend that on whatever you want at Amazon. Now, I realize that's not going to put food in your, actually, you can buy food at Amazon. It's not going to put gas in your car, but it's a way for people to support you in the event you can't do the Amazon affiliate program. So, Scott, thank you so much for that. And that is going to do it. We got more things coming in the future, but this week with my eye issue, I'm way behind on reading and getting into my email. So if you've been contacting me, please be patient. I'm digging myself out. And if you're ready to start a podcast, I will say this. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. If you are ready to start a podcast, that's step number 1. Number 2, and you have not ordered your website hosting yet, please, do I have your attention? Please contact me, because I can send you an affiliate link, and your affiliate commissions that I earn will then pay for you to go to the School of Podcasting for free. So did you hear me? You learn how to podcast for free. You get your web hosting for $7 a month, and that's it. So keep that in mind. And also right now I'm looking for somebody to do that because I want to redo some tutorials and I need a brand new clean spanking website. So if that's you, contact me. again, the criteria for that, you don't have any web hosting at all yet. And you're looking to start a podcast, and you're looking to start a podcast pretty much now, because I'm ready to do that ASAP. So let me know. Here's the contact information. You can call in your comments, 888-563-3228. You can email me, dave@schoolofpodcasting.com. You can use the voicemail button out at our website, which of course is schoolofpodcasting.com. It's right there on the right-hand side. Just click on it and talk into the little recording option there. And thank you so much for tuning in, because we do have step-by-step tutorials that'll walk you through the entire process. We've got resources, because everything you need to start a podcast is out at the schoolofpodcasting.com. And of course, in addition to all that stuff, you get little old me to help you along the way. So thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the spring, America. It's nice outside, and I hope you're listening to this with earbuds in, walking around, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the beautiful planet that God gave us. So thank you so much, and we will see you again next week with another episode of the School of Podcasting This Morning Announcements. Until then, class is dismissed, and I will see you on the inside.